Visitors still really want to come to SPE Offshore Europe after 50 years, very successful years, because it is the place to be to really come to debate and understand what the industry is doing, what's happening in the industry, and what the future of the industry looks like. I think many things have happened at Offshore Europe over the years, but one thing more recently that we've seen is that real shift from being oil and gas focused, which it has had to over the years, but it's moved with the times to be much more associated with the energy transition and that journey to net zero. And I think the future is much more about how the industry deals with that energy transition. So I've seen that transition over the past number of years. So that's one of the significant changes that I've seen. The event in Aberdeen has done a huge amount over the years for the North East, but also for the whole of the UK and the world. And I think what it has to do is to really lead from the front about what the future holds for the industry. There is a lot of environmental, there's a lot of governmental pressure from them, certainly in the UK, but also around the world. And what it has to do is to try and lead from the front and look at how to map the future for the industry and help that industry make that transformation for the future. But it will also help the industry understand where those opportunities lie. And I think that's an important part of bringing so many companies, so many international organisations from around the world to the UK to understand that the UK is leading the way in energy transition. Certainly the younger generation coming to Offshore Europe will learn a lot more about how active industry is in trying to meet the demands of energy transition and to net zero. And the challenges and the opportunities for the younger generation is really important. And we need to attract the young, smart engineers, technologists, environmental, all different skills. We need the best people to come in and help the industry make that transition for the future. But there are some great, exciting careers in the industry, both here and around the world, as that energy transition takes place. So joining an industry at a time where it's going through that transformation offers a huge opportunity for careers both here and around the world. And I think that's something that we'll start to see and feel at Offshore Europe. Offshore Europe 23, I think, will really give us the opportunity to focus on the subsea element, the underwater capability that we have in this country. We've had that crown for many years. And I think what we really want to emphasise is that capability that we have and the opportunity that lies ahead in oil and gas as well as the other sectors as it transitions. But if we're really looking at how we want to make sure that we remain that competitive and best placed to do business here and around the world, because there is still a huge amount of opportunity in oil and gas. There is still a huge opportunity for energy security in the UK, and I think we have to look at producing from the UK to sustain the supply chain through the energy transition, because many of the opportunities are still quite a few years away in those new energies that will be coming through. Things like CCUS, hydrogen, floating offshore wind, they're still quite a few years away before they will actually feed into the supply chain. So sustaining the supply chain through that transition is a very important period. An outcome that I would really like to see from Offshore Europe in 2023 is that the subsea industry is still hugely buoyant. There is a massive opportunity and a massive capability. So how we address the future next 3 to 5 years is going to be critical, how we look and address and support the supply chain. And I think the realisation of us being a world leader, if not the world leader in subsea and underwater technology, how we get together and build the strategies to make sure that we remain competitive and we win the UK content in the UK projects, but also competitive to export that capability around the world. I think at Offshore Europe, in 2023, what we're really looking forward to is getting back together, meeting people and talking business. And I think Offshore Europe really does that. In an international scale, it brings so many people together to Aberdeen from around the world. And it is, Europe's leading event for offshore energy, and coming back together at exhibitions and conferences to meet people and to debate and discuss what really matters for the future is such an important thing. So that's what I'm really looking forward to.